My name's Elijah Goldsby, and I want to state the fact that certain police officers, certain police forces stereotype all kinds of people. And I'm saying this because I'm driving down the road today. I'm heading this way, the officer's heading that way. And I notice he throws on his lights, and he's turning around. I notice he's coming for me because I'm the only person on the road at the time. I then proceed to pull over to the right side of the road to get ready to get pulled over, both hands on the steering wheel. The officer approaches my door. I have to open up the whole door because my left side of the window doesn't work for some reason in which I drive on. He then tells me, "Do you know why I stopped you?" And I'm like, "No, sir, I don't." And he tells me that my inspection sticker isn't up there. And I'm like, "Okay, I'm sorry, officer. I'll get that fixed as soon as I can. This is my dad's car. He must have just made a mistake." He then asked me for my license and registration, in which I show him. I give it to him. And then he asked me why I'm acting so nervous. And I go, "Well, honestly, officer, the reason why I'm acting nervous is because I'm being pulled over by somebody I don't know. I don't really like that. It's just a weird feeling." He then asked me to step outside the vehicle, and he asked me, "Is there anything in this car illegal? Any guns, any alcohol, any drugs I should know about?" I said, "No, sir, I don't do any of that, and I sure don't allow it in my car." He then goes, "Can I search your vehicle?" And I'm like, "No, sir, I don't consent to search it since it is in my right not to have to consent to a search." He then proceeds to go back to his car, I guess runs my name to see if I have any warrants for my arrest, which I don't. At this time, about 5 minutes later, I'm sitting out there waiting. The K9 unit rolls up. Without me having any knowledge of the K9 coming, he calls the K9 to come to search my vehicle. He brings the dog out. The dog, all he does is smells my four tires, but what dog wouldn't smell four tires? The officer then starts hitting my car and getting the dog to jump up. The dog jumps up, but what dog wouldn't because he thinks you're playing with them. So then that gives them a right to search my vehicle. They then proceed to search my vehicle. They find nothing, like I said. But what I'm getting at here is the fact that anybody can get stereotyped. I got stereotyped because I'm a young male driving a car that's not mine, acting a little nervous, which was their right to search my vehicle because the dog sniffed my tires. Also, the fact that the K9 is such an inaccurate use by the police force, they should just throw it out. Because what dog do you not know doesn't sniff a tire or doesn't jump up on your car if you're calling the dog to jump up? He thinks you're playing with them. So like I said, that should just be not even be able to be used anymore because it's so inaccurate. And anybody can be stereotyped because I was picked out because I was a young male acting a little nervous. But what person isn't nervous when they're dealing with the police, whether or not they're doing anything wrong or right? Because like I said, there was nothing in my car, and there was nothing found that was illegal in my car. Nothing was found at all. I didn't even get a ticket for anything. What I'm saying here is we all get stereotyped. And I want to bring it to a point where all these killings that are happening, officer on young African-American men, or not even young, just African-American men, every last one of those officers should do time for first-degree murder, should be locked up for first-degree murder because they killed an unarmed man. But the fact being that everybody gets stereotyped, and the fact being that those officers opened fire and killing those African-American men should not make the world news, because people die every single day, whether it's white on black, black on white, white on white, black on black. It doesn't really matter. People die every single day. And it doesn't make world news, and it shouldn't make world news, because what it's doing is it's separating those two races to make that every white person's bad and that every black person's bad. And that's so not true. It shouldn't be like that at all. It should be, those officers, like I said, should do first-degree murder time for the rest of their life. And I hope something eventually comes around and gets them. But I do not think it should make world news, and I do not think the news should play it over and over and over again, because what you're doing is you're just making those people's parents, those people's family, friends relive that over and over again. Not to mention, you're starting something that is obviously being created here, in which they're doing by making the races want to separate further from each other, because they think everybody that's not the same color makes the black people think white people are bad, white people think that black people are bad, and it's not true. It shouldn't be like that. So, we can't turn what officers do, police forces, police officers, when they stereotype people, we cannot turn that into a race issue, because it should not be like that, because it doesn't need to be a race issue at all. We should blame the officers for first-degree murder. We should get our police forces, they should have to wear cameras when they stop everybody to see exactly what happens every time they stop somebody, so they know who is in the wrong every time somebody is, whether or not they're in the wrong or not. It can show the sides of the stories in which they may come. Also, the fact that these people, or these officers, are doing that and they're just getting away with it is just sick. It's absolutely sick that they can continue to do that and get away with it. I just don't want because officers are stereotype people, any kinds of people, because like I said, I was stereotyped, picked out today, however you want to say it, however you want to call it, and they found nothing. But making it a race issue is just a horrible thing to do. Thank you.